open the Red Bull can.
So yeah, let's clap. So we do need to do it at the same time so we can like match audio. I guess it doesn't matter since it's the same exact thing. Yeah, let's do it just for shits, I guess.
I'm gonna fuck it up.
There's no reason to. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
I don't think that was as crisp as when I opened my Red Bull.
What? Bitch, don't hate on my Red Bull opening skills. I didn't apply for this date. Be fucking attacked on live air.
Oh man, live air. It's
live
like a
air.
radio show because lots of people are gonna listen to this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Anyways, what's poppin', guys? We have your hosts, me, Alexander, and him,
Steven.
Yeah. We're here to just talk about shit, you know.
I've listened to podcasts for a while, but I felt like a real passion for it. As of lately, I thought it'd be fun just to jack around and make a podcast.
Yeah. Everything he said, except I just want to jack around. So, like, minus half of what he said.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's the usual, you know.
But yeah, we're going to talk about, like, random shit, whatever we want to talk about. Maybe you'll want to listen, maybe you won't. I firmly don't give a shit. This is fun.
It is fun.
It is fun. So,
except for the hour we spent trying to set shit up. That was not fun.
Oh man, if only we had a good room with good acoustics.
Oh yeah, if only.
We're
sitting next to a room with good acoustics.
We're just in a massive mansion.
I don't know what you're talking about. Whose mansion? What?
Not mine.
Not mine.
Ooh, okay.
All right, so shall we? Let's get into this. So what do we have on the agenda? This is so bad. What do you have on the agenda today, Steven? Or should I call you Papa Smurf?
So, last night I watched a beautiful video that looked like it was from National Geographic about the USS Pennsylvania.
Oh no, Steve, we can't name drop. We'll get taken down, DMCA.
Shit. The USS Pennsylvania is a United States Ohio-class ballistic missile submarine that was been commissioned in 1989. She's the 4th ship in the United States Navy to be named after the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This thing is fucking insane. It is the biggest submarine in the U.S. military. It carries, I think, something like 27 full-size ballistic missiles that they launch from underwater. It could wipe out a continent on its own.
My question is, why would they make something so fucking cool and then name it after Ohio? Like the Ohio class. Like, why not name it like
Ohio class?
Oh, yeah. Like Obliterator 3000 class, like submarine.
Ohio class is just the name for nuclear powered submarines. Ohio class is the class of submarines.
Well, why name nuclear? Like again, it just doesn't answer my question. Why name something so fucking cool after a goddamn state that I forget exists half the time?
Oh man, you're gonna piss off a lot of people from Ohio, my man.
All I'm saying is, come at me, man. I don't care about those Ohioans.
Maybe I can look up why it was named Ohio, but I don't know.
It's lost on me.
But there's a lot of like cool science behind these submarines that is honestly mind-boggling. Well, it's like when you see someone explain it, like, oh, I could have thought of that. Let's be honest, you could.
No.
Like, this shit is fucking insane. Like, one example is they have a classified propeller on this thing that reduces the noise that the propeller makes when it rotates because of this thing called cavitation, where when a propeller blade rotates underwater, it creates a slight vacuum, or as close as a vacuum as you can get for like an instant underwater. And at extremely low pressures, water boils. So there are bubbles of steam that are coming from behind this submarine. And just thinking about that is just mind-boggling to me that they have a classified propeller that literally its sole purpose is to prevent bubbles from being formed, and it's a military secret.
Well, now you know. Instead of getting DMCA'd, they're gonna get arrested by the FBI, Steven.
It's like anyone's gonna give a shit about what we talk about.
Like, look at these fucking pieces of shit. We're talking about our goddamn submarine. Take them out. snipers drop down.
That or like the nuclear reactor that's also military classified that apparently like off a couple pounds of uranium, it can just run for months upon months upon months of time.
That's wild.
It's just mind-boggling.
I mean, nuclear reactors are pretty wild in general. And I'm kind of sad that like we don't use them as much anymore. I mean, they still exist, but like, you know, all the nuclear meltdowns that happen, a lot of it is because of like human error. So, and they get a bad rep because of it. So, you know, the more you know about nuclear reactors, man, they're wild.
Yeah, and then also a common thing that I feel like not many people know is electrolysis.
Electrolysis, yes,
Is
we
how
talk about
the
that.
submarine takes water from the ocean and turns it into oxygen and hydrogen.
It splits the atoms.
Splits the atoms using electricity by just running electricity through the water, and then they take the oxygen to refresh the air in the submarine so it doesn't ever have to refuel on air, which is just another just incredibly undervalued scientific fact. I feel like a lot of these things...
I feel like often you don't need it.
Yeah, but like there's so many things that like...
Yeah.
Like us being born in such a technological age that we just like don't appreciate the amount of like generations of work that built up to this.
No, yeah, it's like planes. Like now we're just looking at a plane like, oh, we could have thought about that, create lift under wings.
I could have made.
But like the Wright brothers, weren't they just like, let's try some crazy shit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still stuck up on that naming thing.
The Ohio class.
What was name? Was it called the USS Pennsylvania?
Yeah, they name all ships off states. Like,
well, yeah,
that's
I knew
been
that.
a thing. But Ohio class. The Ohio class is a nuclear power submarines and the sole class of ballistic missile submarines currently serviced in the USS Navy Force. 14 of 18 boats are SSBNs, which, along with the U.S. Air Force strategic bombers and intercontinental ballistic missiles, constitute the nuclear deterrent triad. Oh.
Nuclear deterrent triad.
So there's 3 points to the nuclear deterrent triad of the United States military. That is bombers, intercontinental ballistic missiles placed on land, and then intercontinental ballistic missiles in submarines.
So it's the triad is just the 3 things that will stop anyone from trying to bomb us because we'll just hit them back.
Because we blow anything else in the
So
ship.
like if they hit our mainland and we're just like, oh shit, we don't even need the mainland. We got these buddies over here.
At least we didn't grow up in the Red Scare and have to worry about getting nuked every week.
Well, I mean, we're getting close. We're getting close to another one.
I don't know. I would like to think that most sane people don't want, or a majority of sane people don't want nuclear war.
Yeah.
Anyone with a brain and not insane doesn't want nuclear war, but you never know.
I mean, I don't want nuclear war personally.
Oh, it was good to know. I was really worried that you wanted nuclear war.
It would be pretty badass, though. You know.
Oh, would it?
Fallout.
Half the population could be dead in like an hour.
I don't know, man. I mean, I would jump in a vault, you know. Go under cryo.
These house come with a fucking...
Yeah, Vault Tech comes out of nowhere and they're like, hey guys, we built these vaults everywhere. You guys should get in them.
You ready for the new Fallout game?
Fallout game. It's like an autobiography. Dude, honestly, I was talking about people with this last night. If we were in nuclear fallout, I would be dead within the first like 10 minutes. Like I'd step outside my door, and then like a mutated bird would come and just rip my neck off. I would be so dead so fast.
How many people do you think actually have like general survival skills? Like I was a Boy Scout for like 3 years, but that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, I mean,
even like an Eagle Scout. You think an Eagle Scout could literally just survive in the wilderness if like we had no more power, we had no more like plumbing, nothing, just survive?
I mean, after knowing a few Eagle Scouts, I would name a couple of them, but I don't. Shouldn't really do that.
People on this podcast, man.
No, man, I'm not going to name drop. My name isn't even actually Alex, but I'm sure that they would die. Yeah. Like there's just some things you can't prepare for. I know my uncle though. He's kind of like a preparer for some crazy stuff. Like probably nobody's ready for a nuclear fallout, but like if just the grid goes out, he has a bunch of like canned food and guns just in case.
Yeah, canned foods and guns.
Canned foods and guns. What else do you need, honestly? Canned food, guns, and...
So Fallout 76 is a prequel to all the previous Fallout games set in 2102, You play as an inhabitant of Vault 76 who emerges from the shelter 25 years after the bombs fell on America. Your task is simple: to explore the remains of post-apocalyptic America and rebuild civilization.
I'm actually incredibly excited for Fallout 76.
Oh yeah?
I don't know about you, Steve, but like as soon as I saw that trailer, I was just like, this is what I've wanted.
Is it co-op?
No, yeah, it's all co-op. You can have 4. It's like do you know the game Rust?
Yeah.
Well, it's you can have like a bunch of squads running around.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have like 4 people running around in a group. But I just can't wait for me to like build this big ass badass base, and then I'll just be sitting there like a king, and then some fucking douche canoe named like Pussy Slayer XX
Mini
42069 just nukes me. No, that's the thing. In that game, you can find nuclear codes that you bring to a nuclear bunker that you use to launch a nuclear missile to somewhere on the map.
That's weird.
Oh no, it's gonna be insane.
Oh man.
Just picture like just all this hard work you put into building this base, farming resources. You know, you're getting ready to like outlive the apocalypse, and then just some fucking 12-year-old screams, "I'll fuck your mom," and then just nukes your base. I think that would be the nightmare.
I love internet trolls. They're just
Oh god,
there are times an internet troll to a degree.
I am totally an internet troll to a degree. I've done some stupid crap on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Nothing illegal, of course. But I wasn't laughing because I did anything illegal. I was laughing because I was implying I did do something illegal when I didn't.
Yeah,
okay, you know what? But yeah, those internet trolls are an interesting specimen.
The FBI is listening to our podcast.
Jesus Christ.
Hey guys. Fucking rappers rap about like selling coke and doing drugs all the time. That nothing happens to them. You don't think you can like ominously refer to maybe doing something illegal and get arrested for it?
No, yeah. I mean, I just think is that probable cause? Because like if it comes down to it, then like if they have to plea against it in court, they can just be like, oh, it's just art, you know?
Yeah, that's always something I've wondered. Like rappers clearly specify very illegal things in their music.
No, I mean Kendrick Lamar literally says he knows someone that killed someone in the song Mad City.
Yeah, I mean like he grew up
in the hood. You know what I mean, in the bad part of town. And that's such a messed up song. Like I was listening to it in the car the other day and I was like, damn, this dude went through some shit. As like I'm sitting in my Ford Fusion on my way back from my job.
To your dad's mansion.
Jesus Christ, Steve. But yeah,
I tried to Google it, and now I'm getting articles about white people saying the N-word, and now I don't know what to do. How drugs are influencing pop culture right now from the Vulture. Adderall.
Adderall? I'm prescribed ADD, so I
so just like
Adderall.
20%. I don't know, Google it. How many people are prescribed on Adderall?
Dude, I just don't understand why anyone would want to take that when they don't have to. Because, like, I'm prescribed it, I don't take it half the time. Or, like, 90% of the time. I only take it when I need to. Because one day I took it, like, it was, like, every day that I took it, I'd wake up, I'd take it, and I wouldn't eat for the entire day. I lost, like, 15 pounds in a month. Wow. It was ridiculous, yeah. It was back in 7th grade, though. I would have nothing to eat for the entire day except a small little bowl of salad for dinner. And that was always fun.
Is that keto diet you were talking about yesterday?
God, no.
So, as of addictioncenter.com, 16 million prescriptions for Adderall were given in 2012, and 116,000 people were admitted into rehab for addiction to amphetamines like Adderall, which is pretty insane.
Addiction to like, wait, what?
Addiction to amphetamines like Adderall. So not necessarily Adderall, maybe like Vyvanse, stuff around that general category.
That's insane. What the hell?
Yeah, it's a lot of people. I mean, you know it, everyone knows it. You go to college, people sell Adderall like it's candy because they're like, oh, I got a test and cram my ass off and stay. For one of my finals in my first semester, I literally took an Adderall 40 hours before a math exam that I was trying to really study for Did not sleep for that 40-hour span. Still got a 95 on the exam, but I didn't sleep. Couldn't sleep. I remember the night before I was laying in bed like, oh my god, am I not going to be able to sleep? Like 3 a.m. I give up, I start drinking coffee and continue to study. And I was so mentally fried after that exam. It was
passed
insane. Yeah, I felt dead inside.
Yeah, no, Adderall will do that to you, man. That's why I don't take it too often. One of my most infamous cases is I was up late before a test. I wasn't even up late. I was up like at a normal amount of time. And then I was like, okay, like I'll take like half of my medicine I take called Focalin. Mm-hmm. So I took half of it, and I was like, I was studying, I was working pretty hard. I finished at like midnight, and I head back to my dorm. I go to sleep. Well, but I don't go to sleep. That's the trick in the story. I lay in bed for 3 hours. I have to wake up at 8 for my class. I was just laying in bed, and I was just like, I'm so fucked. So I woke up that morning barely. I dragged myself out of bed, like I was just like, I'm like dead. I woke up, I drank a Red Bull, and I was like, you know what, I'll take an Adderall too, or Focalin. So I take my Focalin, I drink my Red Bull, and I go to class, and I did not eat for that entire day. All I had in my stomach until like midnight was just Adderall or Focalin. God damn it. Focalin and Red Bull. And I felt like I was wired on some sort of like my eyes were bloodshot throughout half of the day. I was just gone. I was mentally gone, but I was like physically there because my like the Focalin and Red Bull were just like fucking holding me by the cuff and just bitch slapping me and telling me to wake up. So that was a lot of fun, but it like wasn't though. Yeah.
I'm trying to Google the differences between Adderall and Focalin. It seems like there's not an incredible much of a difference.
No, it's not.
They're both like general first case attempts at solving ADHD. But then like you hear all the stories about Adderall or Focalin is decently more expensive. But
Focalin is more expensive?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's about like 30% more. Actually, no, what is that? 30% more. And that it says an average prescription for Adderall is around $64. An average prescription for Focalin is around $90. So adding another 30% on, or adding another 50% onto it. But yeah.
I mean, it makes sense why Adderall is like the more infamous pick.
Yeah.
Because like it's cheaper and everyone can get it. I don't know. I've just been using Adderall Focalin. My dad, he had ADHD too, and he was just like, I don't really want to. I don't really want to use Adderall. He just didn't like it. He said it just made him feel weird.
Yeah, I think big pharmaceutical is very scary in my opinion, because I grew up watching my mom not be able to sleep at night unless she took Tylenol PM.
Okay.
Like she could not sleep without like a drug, and that scared the shit out of me. So I avoid pills to the highest degree. The most thing I'll ever take is like a vitamin gummy, if I just want to get more vitamins and try to be healthy, like buy them at HEB. But like besides that, I avoid pills when I can because I don't want to get hooked. You know what I mean? Because you hear about all these stories of people getting addicted to these drugs, and then a lot of them are like, it's weird, like what's illegal and what isn't.
It's really weird. Yeah. Like it's not something I really like to talk about because it's kind of just sus and it's just very like gray area. But a lot of
like these big companies decide what's legal just because.
Yeah, no, they lobby for it,
yeah,
and it's like stuff like fentanyl.
Yeah,
it's so incredibly dangerous. Like I saw like a lethal dose of fentanyl, and it was like a crumb.
Oh yeah, you can just Google the picture. If you compare it to like how a lethal dose of heroin is, it's insane how little of that shit you need. It's like a couple grains of salt is all you need to kill you. Like Google it, and you'll find a picture of it. It's pretty simple. It's just scary. And then there's like the conversation of what drugs should be legal. Because I feel like I'm in the opinion that to a degree, I feel like most drugs should just be legal. Like put it what you want in your body as long as you're well educated about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like fucking weed should be legal around the whole country. I don't see a problem with marijuana as long as you have moderation and discipline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of problems with like high school kids. I've talked about this a lot. Is that they get their hands on it because all you need is some money and know a guy, and you can get it. And at that age, you don't have the discipline to handle doing that drug on a regular basis, but also like getting your life together. So if it was legal at like 18 or 21, it'd be so much better. That's the thing with like nicotine. A majority of my friends are addicted to nicotine because we all fucking vape, we all have a Juul, whatever the fuck it is. And I wish now laws are much stricter about if you're under 18, it's a lot harder to get nicotine products. But back when I was like a sophomore in high school, which is not that long ago, 4 years ago, not even. And I looked like I'm tall, looked like an older guy. I could just go. They don't ID me. They don't give a shit. But if looking at it now, when I turned 18, I definitely had the discipline to say, no, that's dumb to be addicted to nicotine. Really dumb because it's just a waste of money. Yeah. It's a stress reliever in a sense, which is nice, but like it's not worth however much money you throw at your nicotine product. Like fucking Juuls are so expensive.
They're a flex.
Yeah, they're a flex. they're a flex. I mean, a lot of things are a flex, which is dumb, but like you can't avoid that.
Yeah.
But like a good price is $17 for 4 of them. Most people I know go through one a day. That's $17 every 4 days.
One a day?
Yeah, one a day.
That's like more than a pack of like cigarettes.
Oh yeah, the amount of nicotine in a pod is comparable to the amount of nicotine in 1 pack of cigarettes. Yes.
So it's like smoking a pack a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's that amount of nicotine. It doesn't. We're for sure that nicotine vaping isn't as bad for you. But it's still going to have
definitely not bad.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, but everything in your life isn't going to make it good. But like, we know it's better than cigarettes. I'm sure people won't start dying of cancer because they vape. Maybe at some point if it's like crazy, but it's not to the extent cigarettes are. I always tell myself I'll try to get off this shit. Never actually happens. Like, come on, man. Let's be real with yourself. You are mentally just grabbed by the balls by this damn product.
And like a lot of the time it's not even like for the buzz anymore. It's just like because it's
cure the fiend.
It's like for example, I have the Zippo lighter here and I just like flipping it open and closed, and I could do that for like hours at a time. It's just like something to do with my hands.
Yeah, I feel like if you were trying to get off nicotine or anything to that extent, you would want to do something like a nervous habit. Like I know personally, when you get nervous, you put on lip balm.
I put on chapstick.
It's a thing I've noticed. I remember when I first pointed it out, you were like, "Oh my god, he's right."
Yeah, it's been a nervous habit for me since like 4th grade.
Yeah,
because I remember I started licking my lips, and it created like this just circle of like just chapped skin around my lips. Ooh. And so my mom was like, "We need to get you some lip balm." I was like, "The fuck is lip balm, Mom?" And I got like this Carmex, which is medicated, and I put that on, but I would smear it. Like, it would be gross. It would be covering like my entire thing. Carmex comes in a little like thing. You just stick your finger in it. My mom
has some, yeah. I think we have some laying around my house somewhere. I don't think any of us use it anymore, but we've used it before.
And I've gotten a lot better, like, ever since then, because like, if you have stuff to do, you don't notice that you're missing it. Yeah. Like if I have like a heavy day at work, like I'm doing a lot of lifting and stuff, I'll just forget about my chapstick, and I'll like at the end of the day I'll be like, oh shit, my lips are dry.
This is a completely different topic, but that's what I love about going to the gym. Like,
it'll just keep your mind off of everything.
It keeps your mind off everything. Like people saying, what is the phrase, running clears the mind or something like that, and that whenever you do some sort of physical activity, you're focused on something else, you're pushing your body. Whatever concerns you have in your head are gone. Yeah. That's the thing I remember loving about playing basketball in high school. If I was having a bad time at school, bad time at home, whatever it was, if I go to a basketball practice, no matter how much that day sucked, no matter how much running we had to do, the only thing I was thinking about, basketball. I don't have to think about anything else, which is nice. Because when you're done, you're like, you feel relaxed. You feel good. Yeah. Which is why, like, if I don't work out, I try to work out at least 6 days a week. If I don't work out, I don't feel good. It's not about like, oh, I need to be swole. It's like satisfying my body. and that like I feel like more alive when I've worked out.
So it's become like not quite, but like an addiction almost.
Yeah, of course, yes, for sure. But it's like it's not that bad. I mean, I chug pre-workout like this fucking water before. But
yeah,
like,
I saw that Bang, the Bang pre-workout in your car.
Yeah. I mean, you've bought the cans of that before,
dude. That's like crazy. I fucking
the amount of caffeine in that is pretty insane.
Oh yeah, it's great.
But it's real good. Just blare some like loud pump up music, drink some Bang or whatever pre-workout you have, and just lock it in.
That's what I do when I'm biking.
Yeah.
Is I put in my earbuds, I put some crazy loud music, and I just pedal until my legs give out. It's real fun, especially going to class.
I wish I could run. I wish I was like
I hate running.
Everyone hates running. I used to hate running. I like it.
But like some people like it. Some people think it's like rhythmic and soothing.
I see the enjoyment in it.
I cannot see the enjoyment.
Lately, what I've been doing at the end of my workouts is run like a mile or two on the treadmill.
You're an animal.
I want to get to the point where I like wake up in the morning. I want to be one of those freaks that wakes up first thing in the morning, like right at dawn, and runs a trail for like 5 miles, then does my day. Then do my day, because I feel like I'd be more alive. My body would be going. I'd feel better. I just want to be one of those guys, be like freaks. It's almost like meditation to an extent. I've heard people like swear upon meditation. I've tried it a few times. I've never really gotten into it on a good basis, but like the idea is that like you're much less anxious about things. You're much more relaxed. I don't know about you, but sometimes, especially recently, because I've had to make one very large life-changing decision this summer, in that I've had a lot of anxiety. But when I'm doing some sort of physical activity, it's gone, and it's nice, and it's almost like meditation in a sense.
I have it's a probably worse way of dealing with anxiety. And it's just been kind of like cemented in how I do things. It's terrible for me. I just push it into the back of my mind until I forget about it. And then like I don't have to do anything. I just think about something else. I don't think about that. And then I forget about it until I remember it, and then I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. And I just push it back to the back of my head again.
I see what you mean. I mean, I'm like that too. One of probably my biggest like problems as a person growing up is I care way too much about what people think. And I know that like that's a basic thing to say, but it's honestly a genuine problem I have. I'm worried, like when I go out and do something, my first thing is, what are people going to think? But like, honestly, why should I give a fuck? Yep. Like I thought about that like when we first started doing this podcast, like people are going to judge me for like sounding like a dumbass for putting my voice on the internet. But like, who gives a shit? Like, honestly.
Yeah. Like I definitely have that too, where I just kind of like, oh God, I hope like this person doesn't hate me, or just like random people on the street, you like walk differently, you're like, I hope these people accept me. They don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
They're just some dude that they pass by on their way to work, and they're like, oh man, what do I have to do to this project? They're not like, look at this fucking fool wearing his goddamn hoodie.
Yeah.
So I've noticed
pants and a hoodie and a t-shirt in 100-degree weather. Look at you.
Listen, like I said at the beginning, I didn't come here to get judged. I came here for freedom of speech.
Hey man, a little comic relief. We were getting real deep right there.
I'm gonna kick your ass. But yeah, I've noticed during college, it's probably a lot due to my roommate and some of my friends I've had there. I've just learned to kind of let go. Yeah. I still care, and it's kind of work in progress. But like I've gotten to the point where like when I'm with friends, I'll just kind of let loose.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be an extent to where you got to be like watch your own actions. You can't just do whatever and be okay with it. But like, it's a balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always a balance.
Like most things in life, whether it be drugs, working out, anything really, moderation I find is key.
Yeah.
Or actually, there's a funny quote. I think there was a quote that was like, moderation in moderation is key, or something like that.
I think I understand what that means. Not quite sure, but I think
that means essentially means sometimes you just got to let loose.
Yeah.
I heard it listening to like a clip of a podcast from Joe Rogan on a YouTube video where he was talking to this guy about drinking, and that drinking is horrible for you. It's probably one of like
the most self-destructive things you can do.
It's horrible for your body, but sometimes you just gotta let loose. Like the guy was talking about how like he literally schedules a time on his calendar when he knows he's just gonna get plastered with the homies, and like he plans around it. So like it's essential.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a break here for Alex to let his little dog out the door.
My dog can get annoying when you don't do what he wants you to do.
Sounds like a brat.
He is a freaking brat, but I love him. He's a cute little brat.
Oscar Wilde.
Oscar
Everything
Wilde.
in moderation, including moderation.
That's a famous
is the
author.
quote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oscar Wilde.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta let loose.
I wish that I had your problem, where I would use workout to clear my mind, but I play video games.
I think it's part of the fact is that I've
No, like working out isn't a problem, but for me, I do the same thing but with video games, so it's kind of a problem.
I mean, yeah. I feel like with the exercise thing is I've been playing basketball since I was 4 years old. I've always been doing some sort of physical activity. I've never been like a really athletic kid, but I've always been doing something.
You're also 6'7".
Yeah, that too. But like I've always gone out and done things, and I feel like when I no longer actually like played basketball at a high level, which only ended like 6 months ago, because I walked on the team at UT Dallas, and then it ended from there. But I've always done it, and so it's just habit of me. And I'm kind of a creature of habit. I'm very much a creature of habit, but I feel like everyone is like.
Oh yeah.
Like when I get home and I know I'm done with doing things for a moment and I want to relax, my go-to thing is watching YouTube, which I honestly hate. Because like there are some good YouTube videos out there, but if I'm sitting there for 2 hours watching YouTube, I'm getting nothing out of that. I'm not even enjoying the content that much. I'm just doing it to do it.
It's just there.
Yeah, I'm just doing it to do it. Like I probably spent like an hour today on r/videos on Reddit.
Jesus Christ.
Shit's like that's better. That's way better than just like going into recommended on YouTube, because Reddit's got good shit.
Sometimes.
It was top in the last month because I hadn't been in the last r/videos in a while. So there are some interesting videos on there. But yeah, lately I've been trying to push myself to read more. I don't want to push myself too hard, because
if you push yourself to read, you won't like hating reading.
You won't like it. Unless I always have my book with me, like it's in my truck, it's always there, so if I ever feel like it, I'll do it. But I don't want to, just like you said, I don't want to make myself do it. I just want to try to have it in the back of my head as an option.
You want to do a shout out? What book is it?
It is American Gods by
Neil Gaiman.
It was recommended to me by my girlfriend. It's a good book. I'm only like 6 chapters in. It's good. Enjoying it. I bought like 7 books on Amazon like a month ago, which will probably last me a long time because I've been reading like a book a month. So
yeah, my problem with books, like I used to read so much. Like I used to carry a separate backpack to school full of books. And that was just how I was. I read like probably a book like every 2 or 3 days. That's because like I just had nothing better to do. Mm-hmm. But now like it kind of just gets wrapped up, because like I could either if I could be reading a book, I could be like, oh, I could be messing around playing video games, or I could be hanging out with friends, or I could be working on homework. And then kind of as soon as I entered high school, I kind of lost that like kind of thing where I would just read. Mm-hmm. And it sucks because I love reading, but like I also every time I would go to the bookstore, I wouldn't find something that I would like. So that was kind of a problem too, because I used to just devour everything. Like I would read literally anything anyone threw at me, and that's just how I was.
How much of it were you like actually intaking like deeply?
How much of the reading?
Yeah.
Usually it was just like shitty
teen fiction, something like that.
Teen fiction, yeah. Sometimes I've read like some of my favorite books of all time. I'll list a few. Dune, Frank Herbert. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, classic. I can't recommend that book enough. Oh man, I can't think of any.
I saw this post on r/books today on Reddit, and it was in Japanese. There's a word, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but there's a word that literally means books that you buy and will never read.
There's also a word in German for punchable face.
Yeah, we need to put these in the English language soon.
Yeah, one of my favorite like kind of foreign words is call the void. It's this French word. I believe it means call of the void literally. What it means, it's like, when you're sitting in your car just driving, and then you're like, I could just swerve off the road right now, or just stuff that you would never do, but you kind of just, your brain just like, oh, let's do it.
That's freaky. That's some dark stuff.
Yeah, it's like you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
like you're standing on like a roof, you're like, I could jump.
Like you could end it all just instantly.
Yeah,
it's definitely a possibility that a lot of people don't think about, but sometimes you do think about it and you're like, holy shit. Like sometimes like when I'm like sad and you think about like what little time you have in your life, and that like I could have like I'm 19, I could have sworn I was in high school like a couple days ago. Like shit, time flies and it only gets faster.
God,
and it's scary to think about like that we will die soon. Like it's something we all know, but we really put it off, which is understandable because I feel like if you don't put it off, you're not going to get anywhere, because you don't want to get latched on that depressing fact that we all are born and we all will die.
I used to have this very weird kind of philosophy, and I won't call it philosophy. It was just kind of some sort of demented idea, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna die before I'm 45, because 45, like after that, it's all just kind of like downhill.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had that thought in my mind for a while. I'm like, why? Like, do I have anything to live for after 45? It's kind of just you get shittier until you just can't remember that you're getting shittier, and then you die. Like that was really, it was pretty demented.
Yeah.
But like now I'm just like, why would I die at 45 when I can do other stuff until I die?
Another positive we have is as we were talking in the beginning, technology, and that the rate at which technology advances is exponential, and that like the lifespan of a wealthy American is probably increasing every year by a year, like something crazy like that, probably, and that like we can all hope for like maybe we'll be able to put consciousness in a robot and transform consciousness. Like I don't know if that's going to happen, but we can at least get to the point where medicine is so good that we will live longer than most people, like the generation before us. Like our parents will most likely die at a younger age than we will.
Oh, I don't want to be Walt Disney. I want to be I want to be
freezer.
frozen. Yeah, I want to be frozen and then woken up in like 300 years. And they have flying cars and shit, and they're just like, hey, your money got a lot of interest.
I mean, Back to the Future said that we'd have flying cars
this year.
2020?
2020? Okay.
I think it was 2020. Or 20. I think it might have been 2017, actually. I think I remember saying
it was 2017, 2018, because that's when they had the hoverboard.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
Yeah. I wish I'd aspire to be as lucky or successful as an Elon Musk. What's the guy's name? Warren Buffett, something like that. Just a multi-millionaire that is really smart and also got lucky. But
yeah.
like then again, like how much does more money really bring you happiness?
The thing is, I'm pretty sure like, and Elon Musk, if you hear this, don't send any ninjas to kill me. But like I actually read. I was talking up with my coworkers today. And they were like, actually, we were talking about CEOs, and he was talking about his old boss, and I was kind of an asshole, but he was really smart. And then it came up that like the average of CEOs that are sociopaths is like 2 times the national average. Like there has to be something like weird for you to be like the CEO of a company.
That's another thing. I was thinking about that the other day. Again, on a Joe Rogan podcast, they were talking about how...
Wow, you sound like a Joe Rogan fanboy.
Well, I usually listen to at least one a week, and it's interesting. I like to listen to people talk about interesting things.
You put the mic closer to your face.
Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But they were talking about, like, once you make a certain amount of money, and once you reach a certain amount of age, why push it harder? Like, let's say your income's like $200,000 a year, which is pretty damn good. That's a really well-off person. and you're like 35.
Wait, how much per year?
200,000.
That's really well off.
That's really well off. Why push it? Do you really need any more? How much more do you need?
No.
Like, most people are like, I'm good.
I actually read that like after 80,000 per year, you stop like your happiness comparative to your money, to like just levels out. You don't get any more happy.
Yeah.
Compared to how much money.
Which is why I think to be like you said, you have to have like a weird tick in you if you really want to push it and be just multi-millionaire. Like another like example I love is fucking The Social Network. That movie is incredible. I rewatched it like a month ago. Mark Zuckerberg must have been an asshole.
Mark Zuckerberg is an asshole.
Jesse Eisenberg did a great job of portraying just a pretentious, really smart asshole.
Yep.
It was such a good movie.
Oh, yeah,
that's the kind of person I would think to be a CEO. He thinks he's better than everyone because in a sense he is, and then just beats everyone because they love competition.
Yeah.
They just love being good.
I mean, also like Facebook was the huge thing. I'm trying to think. It didn't really have any competitors at the time. Like it was like you had MySpace, and it just wiped MySpace out. I don't know why it wiped MySpace out. Probably because of the easy use. Because MySpace, I've heard stories. You had to like customize your own page.
Yeah.
And you had to like kind of do a lot of things to make it like nice.
Yeah.
But Facebook, you had your feed, you added people, and that was it. You could poke them.
It's funny because like the basis before Facebook, what he made was he made a website in a single night while he was drunk. I think it was 6 hours, where he hacked into dormitories at Harvard and got pictures of the girls in Harvard, and the website literally just put two random pictures of Harvard girls, and you pick which one's hotter. That was the first like thing he did. The led to Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like just a dick move because I think he got dumped is what pushed him to do that, and so he just got pissed off and just made that website in a night, and I think he shut down Harvard's internet. Like he overloaded their servers in a night.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre.
That's pretty wild.
Which is why I wish I was good at computer science. I'll probably try to lean towards more computer science when I'm in college because I think computer science is bitch, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm going into computer systems design. I'm actually switching my major because in computer systems design you get electrical engineering plus computer science. It's going to suck.
Oh yeah, I mean.
But I'll be probably making stuff like processors.
Do you have to take physics too, like I'm taking right now?
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, did you take some sort of E&M high school, Montalbano? Did you take any sort of like electrostatic stuff? We don't need like a 20-minute rant about Montalbano. You can just answer the question.
No. I took Montalbano, which should tell you enough.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's relative. The basis of it is pretty simple. It's just it depends on. You're at ASU. There's going to be a lot of calculus application. I don't know how good you are at calculus. Calculus, I feel I can understand the majority of calculus on its own. Like if I see a calculus problem, I have an idea of how to solve it. But application is a thing in its own. Knowing how to apply those principles to real world situations, like let me think of an example. Like the magnetic field created by a wire. You have to take an integral of the surface area of the wire. It's like stuff like that. And then like the B field has to be in line with the area. You have to take the dot product and see what percent of it is in the same direction. Stuff like that is almost beyond me.
Everything you said just flew over my head. I kind of like it went one ear, and out the other. I just did not like. I don't remember what you said.
Hey man, if you get good grades doing this, you get a good paycheck when you get out of college.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's the goal, isn't it?
It's the goal. It's the game plan.
Tell me one thing that you don't. There's a lot of things. I was talking this about a good friend of mine, coworker of mine, Kevin Swanson, that a majority of things that. I'm not talking shit about him. I'm just in general saying
we can bleep his last name. We can do that in post.
But yes, Kevin is. We talked about a majority of things the guys do in their lives is for girls. Like it's an actual.
No, it's true. Yeah,
it's like an actual fact.
Like you don't need a nice car.
Yeah,
but
a girl's
will
like
think
a nice
like
car.
nice cars.
You don't need a better job, but you'd get a hotter girl if you had a better job. Lots of things like that, and like it's not true for everyone, but to an extent, it is very true.
No, yeah, I guess I agree.
I remember hearing about this guy named Peter Schiff, who's this like crazy like economist who moved to Puerto Rico for the tax cuts, and he moved his company there so he can make more money. And all the employees, all the male employees he brought over, got all the girls they wanted in Puerto Rico. And he made some comment about how Puerto Rican girls like guys with jobs, and there was like civil outrage. Like, why would you discriminate against Puerto Rican women like that? It's like, no. If you have a good job, a girl will most likely want to be your, I guess, mate, quote unquote, or just want to stay with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I get what you mean. It's kind of, it's a suspicious topic, but I get what you mean. Like,
I mean, there's
there's
a lot of things we don't think about that we do that are like literally just primal things.
No, yeah, like it's if you boil down society, it's still a very primal society. Like it's just how things. If you think about it on the like kind of the basic level, it's just the same. And like recently, it's been changing, like with like dual income, no kids, Dino, the DINK, I think it's called
DINK.
It's called DINK, yeah. But yeah, I mean the social gender roles have been changing a lot lately, and it's kind of interesting to see. Where can we go from that?
I think an interesting fact about how in Japan they have way more. Their elder population is much bigger than their like younger generation.
Because nobody's moving in. Yeah.
Nobody wants kids.
Nobody wants kids either.
Because they all would rather focus on their job than have kids.
Because in
kids
Japan
are fucking expensive.
Yeah. And in Japan, jobs are insane.
Yeah.
Like you work 12 hours or something ridiculous. And then after work, your boss will be like, oh, let's get drinks. And if you don't go and get drinks with them, it's considered rude. Mm-hmm. So you are basically forced to spend like 14, 15 hours with the people.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's there's been scientific tests. And if you work more than like 6 or 8 hours, your productivity drops like fast. So like the extra 12 hours, that's why in America, like we kind of produce more better. It's I don't think more better. I'm probably not explaining it right, but it's something along the lines of, yes, that we get stuff done faster because we are more efficient for more time, and we're not like there's not like a 6-hour burnout where we do like half efficiency. Japan is crazy, dude. I could talk about their just their social stuff.
The first thing I thought about was like the suicide forest. Like that's just it's dark. That like their like work lives are their everything, and then it's dark and more people commit suicide there. But like I remember learning my senior year in high school that that's just developmental stages of countries, and we're headed in that direction. Like it's inevitable that we will get to a point where it's happening. People don't want to have kids; they would rather just work. Because who wants to bring a kid into this world? It's expensive. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't want to have that burden, even though people love children when they have them. But before you're like, meh. But I mean, you can't say this for everyone. I'm sure it's different for different people. But like, it's a scary thing to do, and it takes a lot of your life.
Yeah. I actually I've been thinking about it, and I like a while ago, I read this Reddit post actually, and it was just this. It stuck with me. It's like if you don't have children, you will be cutting a genetic line that is thousands of years old because you don't have kids.
I'm not too worried. My dad was one of 9, and his dad was one of 9. I mean, yeah. There's lots of Shermers out there. Mainly in the Northeast. If you want to go to New Jersey, check out the Shermer households.
But like, just picture like a huge just family tree starting from like the first human, and everyone that didn't have kids or died is just an X.
Yep.
That's just crazy to think about, and I'm just like, well, damn. Like I used to have it in my head. I was like, oh, I'm not a huge kid guy. Like I can deal with him, but if I don't have kids, then I'll just be cutting the genetic line. And like after a while, it's just like, that's fucking stupid. But at the same time, like it's just like, damn, I'm letting all my
ancestors
down.
works.
Like I'm down to the point where it's like the people, like, oh god, yeah.
It's just hard to take in because we were genetically coded
To have children.
just further the species, which is
To
just
further
have
the
kids.
species. That's like, everyone's like, what's the purpose of humanity? I'm like, it's to adapt, evolve, and further your species.
Yeah,
This
I
is just
understand.
always has been.
But we're getting to a point where like we're so advanced that we're contemplating going against our genetic code. Like it's literally why we're here is because monkeys were so good at furthering their genetic code, and then for some weird reason they developed brains and continued to evolve over millions of years, and then now we're here both looking at our laptops talking to each other so we can put it on the internet and let people listen.
Perfect.
It's insane.
This is truly the dankest timeline.
Well, I guess let's leave it off there.
Leave it off there. It
was a good time.
Cutting it off.
It was
Yeah.
a good time. If you really listened through our entire podcast, I don't know if it was like 40 minutes or whatever it was.
It's 51 minutes almost exactly right now.
51 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure I know you if you actually listen to this.
Yeah,
I've met you before. Hit me up. I'm going to be linking this on probably just my Twitter.
Twitter handle.
Just at Stephen Shermer, STEPHEN SCHIRMER, all lowercase, no space.
We'll put your link in the description.
We'll put the link in the description. Let's link that YouTube video we talked about in the beginning.
Yeah,
I thought
we'll
that
link
thing
the
was
YouTube
dope.
video well as well.
And let us know what you think. Just say something. Tell me if you listened.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to hear if people give a shit. I mean, I doubt
Yeah.
many of you give a shit, but I just want to hear what you think.
Yeah, no, so do I. If you listen to it all the way through, then tell me, and so I know you aren't lying. Tell me, what should be a stupid tagline that they have to tell me? Just tell me.
We need like a certain word they have to say that's like uncommon.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
Just send me a message. The only word that it contains is Red Bull.
Yeah. Same here.
And then start talking.
If you just say Red Bull, I know you listened to this entire thing. That's
And
a test.
we know you ain't fake.
And I'm gonna ask all of my friends who said listen to it. And I'm like, did you listen to it all? And they're like, yeah. I doubt anyone would care. They can probably most of the people I know are probably like, no, I didn't. No. I did not care.
Most likely Kevin. He'd probably like, we'd be like, hey, you watched the podcast? He's like, no, I didn't care enough.
Yeah,
That's so
Kevin's
Kevin.
not gonna give a shit. Anyway.
Anyways, yeah, thank you for listening. If you want us to do this again, I want to do it again.
We will do it again.
We will do it again.
If you want us to talk about anything, if you want to join us, if we know you and you want to join us, let us know.
Let us know. Yeah.
We're kind of just new with this. We'll do anything really. So hit us up.
Except suck a dick. I will not suck a dick.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.